Bottom line is everything sucks. I'm not happy with the direction Stone Cold Steve Austin's going. I ain't happy with the direction the whole company's going. I think the writing has been pretty substandard. I'll go one better than that. It's been piss poor. I guess if that pisses some people off, then that's just the way it is.
Well, again, you know,
I think it could have been a hell of a lot better creative than it's been going on. It's pretty as a matter of fact, and I ain't been happy with what I've been doing before WrestleMania or after WrestleMania as we speak presently.
In an almost unprecedented situation for a top WWF performer while still under contract, Steve Austin made headlines in and out of the company on Friday by heavily criticizing the creative direction of the company on the Byte, this internet talk show on the WWE website, talking publicly for the first time on what has been rumored for months with him not liking the positioning and direction of his character in the pecking order since playing second fiddle to Rock and Hogan in the build-up to WrestleMania 18. Along with the new more structured creative process that started during his time off with neck injury in 2000 and accelerated since then with a more scripted approach to promos and storylines than at any point in the business, with interviewer Kelly, who in the first question of the interview attempted to get Austin to refute the reports on him being unhappy in the past several months, instead just got the ball rolling by giving Austin the opportunity to not only confirm the reports but take them to new heights, with Austin not only criticizing the creative crew but also the overall direction of the company when asked about the numbers decline since the brand split, saying that despite the now easier road schedule with them only working one TV show a week, the split should not have been done with complete separation, with each roster now having a limited number of top opponents as compared to the past several years during the boom period, naming Rock as the one opponent he would like to wrestle again in the rematch of their record pay-per-view match in April of last year, with Austin after the issues with the company appeared to be resolved after coming back from his unannounced 2-week break following WrestleMania 18, with him targeted to be the top performer on the Raw brand since the draft and was written to be a major part of Raw on Monday night since before the interview after setting up a potential new program with Benoit's return to turn on him in the follow-up to Austin sending him off TV for neck surgery last June, making his first appearance since the interview 9 minutes into the broadcast, confronting Flair, Benoit and Eddie to open Raw while taking out Arn Anderson backstage to set up the big main event for tonight, with the first televised Austin vs. Flair match set to headline the show with several stipulations, seeing the segment opening Raw above the recent average with a 3.6 rating and over 4.7 million viewers in the highest rated opening quarter in the month. Raw climbed throughout the first hour to pick up over 600,000 viewers and enter the 4 rating range between 9:30 to 45 p.m. first with an X-Pac vs. Goldust match with Waltman's place in the nWo on the line, followed by Flair and Austin setting up the stipulations for the main event to up the stakes for the promoted straight wrestling match, with Austin's regular in-ring return at stake, along with him having to be Flair's personal assistant if he loses, and with the company's struggles accelerated since the name change continuing during the last week of television to see both Raw and SmackDown brands taking a hit to the lowest combined audience between the shows since SmackDown debuted in August 1999, with both programs combining for 10 million total viewers. The WWE got the most positive ratings news of the week on Thursday night, with the final episode of the second season of Tough Enough seeing the 1-hour special spiking huge over the season average to draw a 2.8 rating, outdrawing the 2.5 rating for the first final broadcast despite it being a much higher rated season overall, with the show ironically airing an hour after first season winner Maven suffered a major leg injury at the SmackDown tapings in a match against Christian last Tuesday to take him out of the ring for the next several months, already setting up plans for the third season, with the concept continuing to click despite the main show's recent struggles to maintain product interest of just a few months ago, with Raw's second top match of the night seeing Eddie and Lesnar against Van Dam and Bubba placed at the top of the hour. coming after both singles matches, with the idea to elevate all four performers were placed in the two main time slots of Raw last Monday, with Eddie and Van Dam in particular being highlighted in an over 20-minute ladder match in the main event. Seeing all four again put in a strong position with the opportunity to draw midway through the broadcast, with Austin vs Flair set to close the show. Seeing the tag match going 9 minutes with it, unlike the mixed results of last week, showing perhaps the biggest sign of approval for all involved, with the match gaining over 700,000 viewers to peak the night at a 4.7 rating with over 6.1 million viewers, while also seeing them putting on a strong performance in the ring, with Eddie getting his win back on Van Dam for the finish. With strong reviews for the first episode of Confidential in a new shoot format built around the Montreal Hart and Michaels controversy to a strong number, the second episode continuing the shoot subject theme built around Davey Boy Smith's struggles with different substances that led to his early death maintained a strong 1.3 rating past 11 p.m. on Saturday night. And after the peak viewership for the tag match, Raw took a major hit for the next 30 minutes, dropping over half a rating point despite 3 major segments with top names being promoted, but with the hour overall on the back of the 2 matches opening and closing it drawing over 5.5 million viewers in the most watched hour of Raw in almost a month, featuring a loaded quarter between 10:30 to 45 p.m. which, despite the big star power not reflecting in the numbers while not being helped by featuring 2 commercial breaks during it. First with Undertaker vs Dreamer going 3 minutes in the follow-up to their segment drawing the highest rated quarter of the night last Monday, seeing Taker going over, followed by Jeff Hardy attacking Taker post-match to set up a potential TV program for the Raw brand. And after hyping a major announcement since the start of the broadcast, Nash came out to announce Shawn Michaels as the new member of the nWo, to a massive reaction, bringing Michaels back in a new role with the company trying to find a way to ride him back into storylines with him up until now not used despite being under a new contract signed early last year. Seeing Nash and Michaels doing their old two dudes with attitudes, a routine that was just 7 years ago but seemed like decades back, with the business moving at a rapid pace during the Monday Night Tours era, with an entire new audience created for the industry since the peak of the Diesel-Michaels run. The first ever Steve Austin vs Ric Flair singles match, and on paper one of the biggest matches ever booked on wrestling television, not only for the historical significance of both wrestlers in the industry but also for it being their first match since being involved in the highest drawing program on Raw since the brand split, saw Flair and Austin coming out at 10:52 p.m. with them having to pick up the show from the hour-low 4 rating in the previous quarter, going over 14 minutes with the no punches straight wrestling stipulation to first bump the final quarter over 500,000 viewers for the entrances and first 5 minutes of the match, followed by Benoit and Guerrero interfering at 10:58 p.m. to lead to the final commercial break, with the show in an unusual timing crossing into the overrun during the break to come back to the match at 11:01 p.m. going 9 minutes in the overrun to see Austin going over clean with the stunner to set up their planned next month of storylines as the main angle on the Raw brand to give their feud another twist with Flair as Austin's assistant, with the match coming 3 days after Austin's talked about interview on Friday afternoon, ending up being Austin's final TV match of the year on a night that can be called the end of Austin's full-time wrestling career, with things about to heat up to new heights over the next week, with the majority of the match in the 9-minute overrun gaining over 800,000 viewers for the duration of it to finish at a 4.6 rating, with Raw overall getting a significant boost over the year-low numbers of the past 2 weeks to jump almost half a rating point back into the 4 rating range, averaging for the 2 hours and 9 minutes over 5.3 million viewers and an over 500,000 viewers increase over last Monday.